Hey everybody, Sam Dog, the infamous 253, coming at you guys with Dallas Stewart as usual on a speakerphone. Dallas, how you doing?
Doing pretty good.
In these first 3 weeks of the season, we've had an above 500 week, a sub 500 week, and now we've had a 500 week. We went 8-8 in week 3. And now we go on to week 4 to the 2024 week 4 game picks of the 2024 NFL season. And just for the thought of it, let's just go ahead and get our game out of the way first because we're playing on Monday Night Football this year. I'd rather just get this game out of the way. We've got the Seattle Seahawks playing the Detroit Lions in Ford Field on Monday Night Football in Detroit. Lions coming off of that win down in the desert in Arizona, a 2013 win, and we're coming off of a 24-3 shellacking of the Miami Dolphins, which I'll be real, if they had had Tua, I think that game could have gone any other way, but I think the way that it's the stars have been aligning for us. I think we've been fortunate so far, especially to have this 3-0 record for sure. But the concerning going into this game against Detroit is Leonard Williams and Byron Murphy, and then obviously the offensive line, just the issues with the offensive line. I heard the rumors of the Seahawks reaching out to Jason Peters again to possibly bring him back. He's 42 years old. I mean, so there's definitely some concern going on about that. And whew, this Detroit team, they're no joke. Detroit's no joke. We obviously know that they're gonna freaking bring it against us, And I unfortunately think, I mean, think I unfortunately think this might be our first loss of the season. Knock on wood. Hope it's not our first loss of the season, but I gotta slightly lean towards Detroit because they're at an advantage. Because if we're gonna be without Leonard Williams and Byron Murphy, that running game's gonna be attacking us hard on that too. Also, if our offensive line is still having those issues too, where we're calling up Jason Peters, we know Aiden Hutchinson. They're going to be sending Aiden Hutchinson up to freaking put the pressure on Geno during this game too. But if there are keys out, I think we can win this game. We definitely got to freaking get pressure on Jared Goff, shut down the run game, and Amon-Ra St. Brown in the receiving game, and we got to at least force some turnovers again, like last year when we pick sixed them. But I got to slightly give the advantage to Detroit. Knock on wood. Hope that I'm wrong though.
Yeah, I gotta go with Detroit as well. It's gonna be a raucous environment Monday night, and they have to be, a little um, revenge for the last 2 years beating them in Detroit. So I gotta go with Detroit. This is the toughest test we've faced so far.
Technically the last 3 years because we smoked them in Seattle in Russell's last home game, too.
Yeah, but the last 2 years being in Detroit,
Yeah, exactly, because of the high shootout game.
they're gonna want revenge, and those were tough losses.
Yeah, the high shootout
Both
game and
games went right down to the wire.
the high shootout game with Geno Smith, where Rashad Penny was healthy and freaking pretty much won us that game with that big run to get us the first down for us.
Where we were underdogs in both.
Yeah, we've been underdogs in both. And we came out on top in both, but once again, there's no
And
surprise we're underdogs again. But we are also banged up a bit too.
yeah, and this is the best team we've played so far. No offense to the other teams we've played.
Granted, we were tested in week 2 against New England when we won that game in
Yeah,
overtime. That was a test too. But this is a real test because we're playing against possibly a contender. Granted they are 2-1 and got pretty much beat by the manhandled by Tampa Bay a week before Tampa got manhandled by the Denver Broncos at home. But yeah, I'll give the edge to the Lions. Hope I'm wrong, so knock on wood. But wanted to get that one out the way first for the Seahawks fans. I mean, for my fellow Seahawks fans, hope that we're wrong. Just because we pick us that if we pick against us time, that doesn't mean we want us to lose. We hope that we're wrong every freaking time if we do pick against us.
yeah.
Yeah. All right, let's go to the beginning. We got Thursday night football. We got the Dallas Cowboys taking on the New York Giants. The Giants getting that surprise win in Cleveland. The Dallas Cowboys getting manhandled by the Baltimore Ravens for most part of that game until they made that almost near epic comeback, only losing by 3, 28-25. A good effort, but not good enough to make an epic comeback. But you're playing the Giants this time. I think the Giants going to be in for an emotional for a letdown. I'm taking the Dallas Cowboys to just go into MetLife and smoke the Giants. Give me the Cowboys.
Yeah, give me the Cowboys big. They're they're ticked off after, back-to-back losses at home, and I think the Giants are in for a bit of a letdown, even though that was a nice win on the road. I still don't think the Giants are very good.
No, of course not. Heck, as a matter of fact, I'm gonna make that my lock of the week.
Yeah, make it my lock. The Cowboys are pissed.
Yeah,
If the Cowboys somehow drop this one, they're in some real trouble.
yeah. All right, up next, we got another surprise. We got the Cincinnati Bengals going to Carolina to take on the Panthers. The Panthers get their first win of the season, and the Cincinnati Bengals are 0-3. That's hard to
Yeah,
believe right now.
that's the most surprising 0-3.
Yeah, they just dropped that game to Jaden Daniels and the Washington Commanders. Jaden Daniels had himself a game last night. His first ever touchdown pass went to an offensive tackle.
Wow,
His
yeah.
first ever passing touchdown to an offensive tackle. Forgot what his name was though. His first name was Trenton. I know that. Trenton something. I don't remember. Someone mentioned it in the comments down below who the name of the offensive lineman was. I know it's Trenton. That was the first name. But the Bengals are definitely desperate right now. I cannot believe they are 0-3 right now. But I'm gonna take them to bounce back in Carolina and get a win, get their first win of the season. I'm taking the Bengals.
Yeah, I'm taking the Bengals as well. They cannot afford to lose this one. They're in pure desperation mode, and I can't see the Carolina winning two in a row.
Nah, me neither. It was a nice little win they had in Vegas though, but they ain't winning two in a row.
Yeah,
Up next, we got the New Orleans Saints going to Atlanta to take on the Atlanta Falcons. The Saints had a letdown at home against the Philadelphia Eagles where Saquon Barkley, after Devontae Smith went down with that injury, very next play after the injury, Saquon took off for that long touchdown run. And then later on, Saquon just hit him again and got the 2-point conversion. They just got manhandled by Saquon Barkley, and the Philly defense stepped up after that letdown they had it at home against Atlanta. Meanwhile, the Falcons are coming off of a tough home loss against the Kansas City Chiefs, and they hung with Kansas City pretty well that game.
yeah,
Whew. Yeah, NFC South rivalry. I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna take I'm gonna go ahead and take the Saints to go into Atlanta and hand the Falcons another loss. I like the way the Falcons were hanging with them. I mean, it was a great win, but I think I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna lean towards New Orleans to get a bounce back win against the Falcons.
yeah. Give me the Saints as well to get to 3-1 and bounce back from that low scoring defensive slugfest against the Eagles. That game I expected to be kind of a shootout. I did not expect it to go that way.
Atlanta's offense
With
did look,
both defense being
yeah.
lights out.
Yeah, Atlanta's offense did look pretty good though in that game against the Kansas City Chiefs. Drake London has definitely been balling out for them. Kyle
Especially
Pitts.
on that first drive, they just went right down the field.
Yeah, I just don't know what happened to them later at the end of the game. They just couldn't really get anything going. And
Yeah, and some questionable coaching decisions
yeah, they should have really.
at the
If
end.
Atlanta really wanted to win that game, they really should have, instead of going for the fourth downs when they were in the red zone, they should have just kicked the field goal, and they could have hoped that their defense could have gone to stop, and they could have had a chance to go down and get a game-winning field goal. They just need to kick two field goals.
Yeah, because then they had to, then they wouldn't have had to go for it with about 2 minutes left or whatever it was.
Yeah, yeah. The
They could
Falcons.
have kicked another field goal.
Bad coaching decision by Raheem Morris and the Falcons in that game. That's the reason they lost that game.
Yeah,
All right, up next, we got the Jacksonville Jaguars going to Houston to take on the Texans. The Jaguars just got absolutely obliterated last night by the Buffalo Bills, which we saw that
yeah,
coming. The Bills are definitely taking out a couple years of revenge worth for those two losses in 2021 and last year in 2023 in London to Jacksonville. And they just went out there and just slaughtered them, put a 40 burger, 47-10, I think the final score of that game was.
yeah.
Yeah, Jacksonville got obliterated. Meanwhile, the Houston Texans got obliterated by the Minnesota Vikings. They just came out absolutely flat against the Minnesota Vikings. Jaguars and Titans are the two worst teams in the AFC South right now. Texans obviously still the best, and the Colts, the Colts are 2-1. They're tied up with the Texans right now in
The
that division.
Colts are 1-2.
Yeah, 1-2. That's why 1-2 because the Colts just beat Chicago. What? Yeah, my bad on that one. So, but Texans clearly still the best team in the AFC South. I expect them to get a bounce back here. Give me the Texans as bounce back and just take it to Jacksonville. Give me the Houston Texans.
Yeah, give me the Texans to bounce back from that beatdown they took at the hands of Minnesota. Jacksonville looks like the worst team in football through the first 3 weeks. I don't know what's going on with them. They could be in for a really long year.
I wouldn't be surprised if they did going for a long year. All right. Up next, we got the Denver Broncos going to MetLife Stadium to take on the New York Jets. The Broncos, Bo Nix, that nice little first win of his career where he ran all over Tampa Bay, a surprising upset that the Broncos pulled in Tampa. And Bo Nix played. That was a, I would say for Bo Nix, that game was a good that game was a good confidence booster.
Yeah, and I'm glad the Seahawks didn't get that Broncos team
Oh
in week
yeah.
one.
Oh yeah, I'm glad we didn't get them
I'm glad
too.
we got the bad Broncos.
Yeah. And meanwhile, the Jets took care of their business against the Patriots with ease. Aaron Rodgers was just slinging the rock all over the place. Breece Hall was running it well. The defense was getting after Jacoby Brissett and just balling out. They just handled their business with ease against New England. And, a nice little win by the Broncos, but they're in for a letdown. Give me the New York Jets at home to just handle their business against Denver. I'm taking the Jets.
Yeah, give me the Jets to make it three in a row. I'm liking what I'm seeing from their defense the last couple of weeks, and Aaron Rodgers is starting to click with some of the receivers, and
Especially Lazard, especially who we had in Green Bay. He had Lazard in Green
yeah,
Bay.
they look like they could possibly be a wild card team in the AFC this year.
Yeah, they're definitely
If he stays healthy.
if he stays healthy, definitely a wild card. I could definitely see them as a wild card. Bills are definitely winning that division with how hot the Bills have been.
Yeah.
All right, up next we got the Minnesota Vikings going to Lambeau Field to take on the Packers. The Vikings obliterating the Houston Texans. Sam Darnold playing lights out. He actually has weapons. Justin Jefferson is still balling out hard for that team. That Vikings defense was able to get after CJ Stroud, forcing turnovers, and they just really got after Houston. Meanwhile, the Green Bay Packers. The question is Jordan Love going to be back? He was practicing in the week going up against the Tennessee Titans. He was warming up, but obviously didn't play. And Malik Willis at quarterback. Revenge game for Malik Willis. He definitely stuck it to his former team.
Yeah, no doubt. He's filled in nicely for Jordan Love.
Yeah, but now they get that tough Vikings team coming to Lambeau Field, and I think they're going to be in for a little letdown. I like the way the Vikings are rolling. I'm going to take them to get the 4-0. Give me the Minnesota Vikings.
Yeah, give me the Vikings as well. Them and Buffalo look like the two best teams in the league through 3 weeks. I'm
Yeah.
really impressed with Minnesota's start.
Yeah, it's just that open blind, so to give me better light on this. But all right. Up next, we got the Pittsburgh Steelers going to Indianapolis to take on the Indianapolis Colts. The Steelers are 3-0. They just took it to the Chargers, knocked Justin Herbert out of the game, and made the Chargers have to resort to Taylor Heineke. And meanwhile, the Indianapolis Colts got their first win of the season against the Chicago Bears. Whew. Justin Fields. Is Russell Wilson even going to see the field at all for the Pittsburgh Steelers?
I don't know.
I don't know. But regardless of that, Colts taking on a really tight defense. Jonathan Taylor was running nice in that game for the Colts against the Chicago Bears. Anthony Richardson, nice little bounce back after those two disappointing losses earlier on. But, you're taking on a tough Pittsburgh defense with Cameron Hayward, TJ Watt, and Minka Fitzpatrick, Joey Porter Jr. They still got a tough defense. That's going to be a tough test for the Colts. And I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to take the Pittsburgh Steelers to beat the Indianapolis Colts and get the 4-0. I'm taking the Steelers.
Yeah, I'm going to take the Steelers as well to get to 4-0. Their defense is just playing lights out right now.
Yeah. But what kind of game could Anthony Richardson have, though? If Anthony Richardson could put up some big numbers, we'll see, He's got some weapons. Let's see what Anthony Richardson can do. That's going to be a real test for him against that defense.
Yeah.
All right. Up next, we got the Los Angeles Rams going to Chicago to take on the Bears. The Rams, they were way more injured than the 49ers. They had the most injuries, and they pulled an epic comeback. Shanahan, another classic Shanahan 49er choke.
Yeah.
That was a vintage 49er.
That game.
Yeah. Wasted away Jawan Jennings' best game. Wasted away.
He has like 3 touchdowns.
Yeah, he did like the almost close to the Randy Moss Thanksgiving numbers, but not as close to what Randy Moss did. But the freaking 49ers, the Rams came back on them, and 49ers pulled a vintage 49er choke. A vintage Kyle Shanahan 49er choke. Meanwhile, Chicago Bears got ran all over by the Indianapolis Colts as they did. And all I gotta say to that one is the Rams finally getting off the schneid, and getting that freaking comeback win against the 49ers. And I'm going to actually go ahead and even though the Rams still overwhelmed with the injuries and that, the way that they freaking utilize certain young talent to make that comeback, I'm going to go ahead and take the Rams to go in Chicago and get a win.
Yeah, this is a tough one. But I'm going to go with the Rams. I think they build off the momentum of last week's win, getting their first win of the year. And I just haven't been all that impressed with the Bears so far this year. They've been up and down, and their offense has struggled. So I'm going to take the Rams to get 2 in a row and get to 500.
Yep. All right, up next, we got the Philadelphia Eagles taking on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Eagles getting that bounce back win coming at the cost of Devontae Smith getting hurt. We don't know the severity of Devontae Smith's injury, or we don't know when they're going to get if they're going to get AJ Brown back yet. Tampa Bay Buccaneers got beat bad at home by the Denver Broncos. That was definitely the surprise of week 3 for sure, was the way that they got steamrolled by the Denver Broncos. Ooh, I was very surprised by that one.
Yeah, they just laid a huge turd at home.
Yeah, Saquon Barkley carried the Eagles to that victory in that game.
A redemption game for Saquon.
After that costly third down drop in the Monday night loss to the Falcons.
Yeah.
And meanwhile, Tampa Bay Buccaneers just getting steamrolled at home by Denver, Baker Mayfield, and the Bucks taking their first loss of the season. Still, they're still a good team, but I'm gonna give the slight edge. I gotta give the edge to Philly. I think Philly's gonna go in there and just pull it off, and it could be close. We'll see if they get AJ Brown back, but I think I'm gonna take the Philadelphia Eagles in this one.
Yeah, I'm going to take the Eagles as well to get to 3-1. I was not impressed at all with Tampa. That was that game shocked me. I did not think they were going to lose to Denver,
Neither
and
did.
just how bad they looked.
Yeah, let Bo Nix just run all over them and just sling it all over
Yeah,
them. Ooh, all right. Up next, we got the New England Patriots going to San Francisco to take on the 49ers. The Patriots got manhandled by the Jets. The 49ers, vintage 49er choke, vintage Kyle Shanahan choke to the Los Angeles Rams, wasted away Jawan Jennings' best game of his career.
yeah.
Pretty much wasted it away. I cannot believe. What was the score?
That was an inexcusable loss with how banged up the Rams were.
Exactly. And look at, granted, I know the 49ers are banged up, but they weren't as badly as banged up as the Rams were. Let's be real. The Rams were more
No,
banged up with me. That was an inexcusable loss by the 49ers.
no, and they should have been able to take advantage.
They failed miserably in that one. Ooh, and obviously we don't know the injuries to Christian McCaffrey, no Deebo Samuel, no George Kittle. Well, we'll see who they get back during the time, but I'm gonna take the 49ers to get a bounce back win against the New England Patriots. They should be able to beat New England. I
Yeah,
don't see them lose New England.
I'm going to take the 49ers as well. They cannot afford to fall to 1-3, and long trip for the Patriots coming out to the West Coast. I still think New England is a bottom 5 team this year.
And by the way, this week's a red zone week, so we gotta be ready for that one for the stream. So you coming over this Sunday?
Yeah.
All right, good. All right, up next, we got the Washington Commanders going to Arizona to take on the Cardinals. Commanders, nice little upset win they pulled last night on Monday Night Football in the doubleheader. Jaden Daniels just balled out in that game against the Cincinnati Bengals. Close shot. It is the first game since 1940 with no punts and no turnovers. First game since 1940 with no punts and no turnovers in that game.
Yeah.
And Jaden Daniels and the Washington Commanders ended up going to the City Ball to win. Meanwhile, the Arizona Cardinals took on a tough Detroit Lions team at home and hung in there for a little while, but Detroit was just too much for them, and they took a 20-13 L to the Detroit Lions. But I tell you what, Arizona's been playing good, playing up to their competition though, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. It'll be interesting to see how the Commanders handle the Cardinals this coming week. See if they're up for that challenge, but I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna give the slight edge to Arizona. I'm gonna take the Cardinals in this game.
Yeah,
Dallas?
this is a tough one. You know what? just for the fun of it, I'm gonna pick Washington. I've been
But
really impressed with Jaden Daniels so far,
I've been,
and
yeah.
they might be maybe a sleeper wild card team in the NFC. I don't know about that, but I've been really impressed with them, and
For split of the year.
yeah,
All right.
I think they keep it rolling.
It'll be interesting. I would love to see it too, especially, being a Seahawks fan. That way it gives the Seahawks some cushion. But, I
Yeah,
just I just think Arizona, just with the way they've been playing with Marvin Harrison Jr. and James Conner, and just the way
it's
they, especially with the
definitely
way they blew out the
this
Rams
game is
too.
definitely a toss up game.
Yeah, exactly. All right. Up next, we got the Kansas City Chiefs taking on the Los Angeles Chargers. The Chiefs coming off of that Monday night win in Atlanta, and the Chargers got manhandled and lost Justin Herbert in that game against the Pittsburgh Steelers defense. They just couldn't get anything going, and losing Herbert was definitely a big blow. I don't know what the severity of it was. It the ankle again that he was dealing with earlier? And who's going to be
I think
starting?
it was.
Is there a chance he misses some time with that?
I think it's possible. Yeah,
Yeah. Give me the Kansas City Chiefs.
yeah. Give me the Chiefs to get to 4-0. Their defense has kind of really been carrying them. Their offense really hasn't exploded yet, which is a little surprising. But yeah, their defense really got after Atlanta
It did.
and stopped them on that 4th and inches to seal the game. So yeah, I got to go with Kansas City.
Right. All right. Up next, we got the Cleveland Browns going to Las Vegas, take on the Raiders. The Browns got embarrassed at home by the Giants, and the Raiders got embarrassed by the Carolina Panthers at home. And Andy Dalton
Yeah,
just threw all over them. Who? Who's worse, Browns or Raiders?
this is a tricky one to pick.
Eh, I'm gonna go Cleveland because they still got the defense with Myles Garrett in them too. I'm gonna take Cleveland.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Cleveland. Very pathetic performance by the Raiders last week. I did not expect that at all. That was like the shocker of the week for me. I gotta go with Cleveland just because I still think Deshaun Watson's better than Gardner Minshew.
We'll see. I mean, we know Minshew went into Baltimore and beat the Ravens though, but we'll see. Up next, we got the Buffalo Bills taking on the Baltimore Ravens, the Sunday night game. The Bills just murdered the Jacksonville Jaguars on Monday Night Football, and the Ravens up big, but almost let the Cowboys back in it, but was able to escape Dallas with a 28-25 win in Jerry World. Bills are rolling. Ravens, they're off the schneid, but kind of still got some questions about them on that too. But obviously, Derrick Henry's running well. Buffalo Bills playing good defense and playing some. Josh Allen's still looking like Josh Allen. He's just got some good targets, and he's just absolutely out there just winning it and taking it in his own hands and running it and being the physical, taking on contact and mowing people down to get first downs and touchdowns. Josh Allen's still balling. He finally got over the Jacksonville Jaguars, finally, his first win over Jacksonville. And I expect the Bills to keep rolling. I'm gonna take the Buffalo Bills to go into Baltimore and hand Baltimore and knock Baltimore to 1-3. I'm taking the Bills.
Yeah, I'm gonna pick the Bills as well. Their offense is just rolling right now, and they look like a juggernaut. And uh, until they lo- and until they lose, I'm probably gonna continue to pick them.
Same here. All right, up next, you got the Tennessee Titans going to Miami to take on the Dolphins. The Titans got obliterated by Malik Willis and the Green Bay Packers. Malik Willis just stuck it to his former team. And obviously, Will Levis is looking like absolute crap through a pick six to Jairi Alexander. Miami Dolphins, they came over here to Seattle. We knocked Skylar Thompson out, and Tim Boyle had to come in. I'm thinking it's going to be Tim Boyle starting again. Tim Boyle's going to be starting for the Dolphins. It was Thompson last week, and then Thompson ends up getting knocked out of the game in our game where we just beat them 24-3. The Dolphins look lost without Tua. Let's be real. The Dolphins are lost without
Yeah,
Tua. It's almost looking like this is an absolute lost season for Miami at this point now.
yeah, it does.
Yeah. Oh man. I mean, granted, they still got the weapons and everything, but I'm gonna go ahead though, and I'm gonna take surprise, surprise. I'm gonna take the Titans to get off the schneid.
Yeah, give me the Titans to get their first win. the Dolphins offense just looks so abysmal without Tua. They cannot move the ball, and boy, this is a Monday night toilet bowl.
Yep, it is.
Rematch of last year when the Titans pulled off off that crazy upset, and I think it was like late in the year. Boy, but this is definitely a Monday night toilet bowl.
Yeah, obviously it's a Monday night doubleheader because obviously this game will still be going on while we're playing Detroit.
Wish they could have chose a better game.
Yeah. All right, there you have it. So we got Cowboys over Giants, Bengals over Panthers, Saints over Falcons, Texans over Jaguars, Jets over Broncos, Vikings over Packers, Steelers over Colts, Rams over Bears, Eagles over Buccaneers, 49ers over Patriots. I took the Cardinals, Dallas took the Commanders, our first split of the year. Chiefs over Chargers, Browns over Raiders, Bills over Ravens, Titans over Dolphins, and Lions handed us our first loss. Knock on wood that we can keep it going and maybe get the 4-0. So let's just hope so, Seahawks fans. We can just keep it rolling because we're in a little bit of trouble, especially if Leonard Williams and Byron Murphy can't go on defense, and then with obviously the obvious
Yeah,
troubles we have on the offensive line. So knock on wood, let's hope for the best and see if we can give Jared Goff our best and see if we can hand him another L again 3 years in a row.
yeah.
Gonna be tough though. Anyway, catch y'all later. Go Hawks and see y'all in the post game recap with Dallas. All right, see you Sunday for red zone for the first red zone reactions of the year. So peace out.